somebody, be somebody, be somebody, just to be somebody. Today, you've got to have somebody, have somebody, have somebody, have somebody, have somebody along the way. Reach out and touch somebody. Reach out and touch somebody. Reach out and touch somebody. Ooh, boy,
We continue to share the same culture, even though we're different. Whether it's a culture of abuse, a culture of neglect, there is some negative culture in our society that seeps into everybody's ethnicity. Doesn't matter who you are. And so we have to be able to speak up about that. We have to present that as a discussion so that we can change that. And so today, the challenge is not just for you, but for your parents to understand that unless they create platform for you guys to fly, then we will have a lot of grounded Belizeans.
Be your own man and make your own choices and look out for the positive thing there.
And I wrote something called Nowhere to Fly. It was a skit at the time, nothing long, not a full-length play, but it was depicting what struggles they were going through and people were going through, and put it in a dramatic way where young people would actually see themselves in theatre, but at the same time use it to teach them something about themselves and about their surroundings. Some years later, I decided to write a full-length play, and we spoke to Restore Belize, and they were more than happy, to branch it or to merge it into the Peace in the Park initiative, which is of course is about getting community support behind Young People Initiative and getting the community to actually be involved in developing Belize. And so we saw it as a fitting project that Nowhere to Fly, a community project, would come together and say, we work with Restore Belize and move into this direction and getting young people in on stage, getting to talk about themselves, talk about their struggles in theatre, and so basically that's what we merged into. And what the people at Gwenliz saw today, the students at Gwenliz saw today, is the result of that. 5 months of work, young people working together, trying to analyze their characters and really putting on a show that I think the audience really received well.
I had already had in my mind that this was the way we need to give messages to our young people, because when it had first come up in conversation about how you get messages to young people. Do you do public service announcements? No, children don't listen to that, to news. They don't listen to public service announcements. What do they listen to? Drama. Do something that they relate to. Do something active, something engaging, something that has to be full of energy, something that has to meet their energy level. So it was in the context of finding a way to get a message to young people, a positive message that was at their energy level, that they would hear. So when we actually got funding to be able to do productions like that, Joseph's play was a natural choice. I was very happy that he was still very interested in pulling off the play, and I did not realize that he had such a dynamic and wonderful group of actors to work with.
I intentionally used a lot of young people who had experienced a lot of violence in society, young people who had gone through some hardships, struggles of the characters that I wrote. And so to some extent it was, we were fictional yet realistic, because they met, they rehearsed characters that they knew. And so with Herman, he has been in the midst of violence. He himself hasn't been involved in it, but he's seen brothers or cousins being shot down. Perhaps not brothers, but relatives being killed in the streets. And so he understands the nature of a beast like Danger. And so when he sits on that stage and embodies Danger, he understands completely what are the repercussions of following a leader like Danger in our society.
This stuff for we reality. So deal with yours. We shoot because we know that some boy have to bust first.
Coming to Gwenliz, honestly, the students really touched me today. The way how they embraced it and the way that they said, yes, you are doing a good thing, and keep it up with the applause and the cheers.
And these are shake off of my hands on a reel.
to say, on behalf of UNESCO Paris, on behalf of UNESCO Jamaica, the Kingston Cluster Office, and on behalf of UNESCO Belize, I want to thank very much Restore Belize for this occasion, for this play, for this cause that they're presenting to you all. And we work as a partnership. You know, we give the money, UNESCO, and then they put off the play. And so there'll be 5 of them, I understand. 5 of these plays around Belize City. 1 has gone already. This is the second one. And there are 3 more. And I hope Mr. Bradley will announce the other 3 locations to come around Belize City, and I guess more Southside Belize. And this is the type of partnership we want for our country, so that we can save our young people from drugs and from crime and from gangs.
And so they're having all these 5 programs throughout the south side of Belize, which will make a major impact to this city, will help us, will help the youths to stay away from crime. It will not fully solve the whole problem. We know that, because it doesn't solve anything overnight, but it will definitely help. And UNESCO is happy to see that the money that they gave out to these institutions, that the institutions are using the money in the right place and doing what they say they're going to do with it. And so Restore Belize is a wonderful institution. They invited me to see this because they're transparent, and they want me to see, as the Secretary General, that yes, they are doing what they say they're going to do with the money. And so we are very pleased with Restore Belize. We're very proud.
I Gwendolyn, did you enjoy that?
Seeing it now in reality and feeling the reaction of the students, I fully understand why this is such an important way to talk to our young people, to relate to our young people.
I know people have done great theatre in Belize before, but I think for the first time, young people have gotten a chance to sit down and really think about theatre in an educational setting.
You hear this? All of them are out here, including Rags, with our girl. They stand up for back up danger. Why? Because when nobody else ever want we, that he made it. But we never had nothing to eat, that he feed we. No clothes, he clothes we.
After getting ready for this and practicing and being Rags, like you say, do you look at people differently in different circumstances?
In a way you do, because a lot of people out there judge others based on what they see. They don't know what they've been through. Like Rags, nobody know what she's been through, why she's on the street. They just judge her because she's on the street. Oh, she's a ghetto girl. Rags wanted to become something, but what her mother didn't want her to become. So she had no other choice but to get out and try to do it on her own. So I don't really judge people, because I don't know how they end up where they are. So nope.
One of the things that I really advocate for is to get theatre more in the face of the audience, or in the midst of the audience. Give them a chance to experience it in their own surroundings. You have places like Belize, which is wonderful for certain productions, but to promote the arts, and what we can do is that we can actually have productions, be staged in parks, be in other places. We don't have to have a physical traditional place, like the Bliss, to have a play. It can happen anywhere. We say drama is life all the time. So any surrounding we can use it as a setting. So it's just a matter of our innovation, our creativity, and how far we're willing to actually go to do something creative.
I know this was a very visible way that representatives from UNESCO and so you could see directly what their funding is going into. What are some of the other ways that some of that UNESCO funding is spent?
Well, we participate with other groups that have very community-based activities. One of the main partners we have is the Day of Healing Committee, and as you may have heard, they are in different neighborhoods. They try to do an event several times per year, and they're in different neighborhoods trying to bring a fun-filled day that's good for the family to come out and just be out in public in a peaceful way, to rebuild community, and to, at the end of it, to have a period of reflection and mourning for those who have passed, who have lost their lives to gun violence in the city. So it's both a bonding and a kind of healing day that they have. So we've partnered with them to have activities in different communities, and we try to make it fun but also cultural. Whether it's a Jankuna dancers or, steel pan, we just try to add that little cultural element.
Restore Belize. When I got today, me and Restore Belize are like we got one link right now. They say sticks you to deal with the parks and the youths. We want to deal with parks and youths as well too. So when you have one event, once we could jump aboard and give you your sponsorship, we want to sponsor you. And when I got today and they say, here with the go on sticks, I got 5 crates of chicken for you. They give us some prizes and they buy 60 odd bags of water, ideal, and things for the youths and things. And they come out here. You understand? They don't only donate, they come out here to see where they go on. Because, yes, we appreciate the donations. The donations make the event happen. But we want the people that would donate, come out and see where your money go to. See that this is not no scam. The communities, they yearn for this thing here. From young to old, with a one event like this every single week. Without the community, this wouldn't happen. Any day of healing will happen, we gather the community, and the community wholeheartedly embrace it. I have communities throughout the south side where they tell me, boy sticks, why you can't do this thing every week? And I tell them, I wish I could spare a head one day of healing in every community every week. The community don't me look for this. The youths me look for this. We look for it. Because we want change in our community, my brother. We want events like this every week. But for we youths to go from field to field. Now they are in October, Yarborough Field, Yarborough Greens, where a lot of sports and activities start. The hub of football in our sense, in the south side of Belize. And we're there with the 5th day of healing. I step to my brother, peel off. I tell him, peel off. You don't know. I have to touch 10 greens. Peel off. I say, well, the greens, they had to wait for you. That when you the call. I say, well, this is the one with the call.
For the past, like I said, about 40 years I have with the youth, and we always have a football team that participate in the regular competition in the Belize City. So that keeps us energized up, and we always have a football team at the Yarborough Green. Whenever football talk, Yarborough gonna be in it.
I know if there's one thing that you always want the youth interacting with you to know, to learn, to think about, what would that be?
Well, discipline, one way of life, stay positive, always respect the elders, respect yourself, and respect people overall.
So we go out and we pass out with letters 1 month before the event. And a couple weeks or 2 weeks before the event, we go back and do a lead follow-ups, check the people who want to donate. We start to get in with lead donations, but in that process there, we're there in that community. With the member from the community and members from the community, we genuinely work with the youth them from their heart. We're known to have community initiatives for the youth and the community. And we sit down and we strategize what kind of events we have out here, like the football, the basketball, the running race, the lime and spoon, dominoes, checkers, maypole, and different things. We organize the different events we have.
This work with the community is seeing results in many ways. Community cadet corps who have attended Day of Healing events have seen their ranks increase in number. The Day of Healing at Yarborough Greens was also used as a recruitment drive to involve youths in getting free steel pan lessons. Perhaps the most noticeable feature of the Day of Healing activities is that individuals from communities that contain elements literally at war with each other consider the Day of Healing events a neutral space where no violence occurs between them, even with a minimal police presence.
I'm Elroy Carcom, I'm a sergeant of police. I am the NCO in charge of community policing for Belize District. And what happened is that today you'll notice that the group is doing a Day of Healing within the Yarborough area. And the community policing officers have always been of support with these groups that come out and try to do something positive for the area. We know that without the community we cannot get the job done, we cannot solve crimes and so forth, so we need to work along with them, build a relationship along with them, and that is one of the main reasons we are out here today.
The consistency and the focus of the Day of Healing Committee is making private companies realize that they are legitimately aiming to improve their communities from the ground up. Restore Belize is happy to have recognized their efforts, as well as the cast and crew of Nowhere to Fly and other partner stakeholders such as NICH, the National Institute of Culture and History, as well as the Precinct 1 Police Station and the Community Police. We have the vision and will. We thank UNESCO for sharing that vision with us on the journey of creating a better Belize.